Do you think you're good at picking the important stuff out when there's a lot of distractions? Well, welcome to the internet! It's very nice and shows that it's also where a real woman's trauma with her ex-boyfriend was just another opportunity for his ex-best friend to sell you t-shirts.
I will be dropping Buy Sister merch.
Your merch, limited stock available. And fly out to an all-exclusive Be Better interview.
Okay, so I just want to start off by thanking you, Zach.
Like he was Diane Sawyer, grilling the Pentagon Papers whistleblower.
James Charles.
I would be surprised if something was going on and James Charles had nothing to do with it.
James Charles. James bent over.
What now?
James was bent over. James.
What did he do this time? James
Charles.
It was James.
Notice how we completely strayed away from the point. A real woman's trauma, a woman's abuse story somehow became the background here. And these irrelevant people are at the forefront. I'm just trying to understand what they're doing in the spotlight of her story. Who are these people who hijacked your story, Kayla?
Hey, James. I will not give up. You're with the wrong one now, buddy, because I won't give up.
Who are all these irrelevant periphery add-ons that have somehow hijacked this survivor's story? Kayla Malec is a survivor. She is a survivor of domestic violence. She lived through and documented a very hard reality. And then she did something even harder. She talked about it publicly, in detail, on camera, and that's not easy. That's not content, that's courage. And for a moment, it felt like people were listening. Until they were not, because before very long, her story stopped being hers. It turned into what looked like a PR opportunity for everybody around her. Suddenly, we are no longer talking about the abuse. We're watching Zach Sellars, her ex-boyfriend's ex-best friend, do emotional TikTok monologues.
And this is justice for Kayla. I am not going to give up, guys. I promise you, I'm not letting Kayla down. The receipts cannot be posted on here. I'm here to take up for Kayla, and I'm here to fight for Kayla, and I know all of you, all of everyone else is too, and that's amazing. I also have been, getting, things like post the receipts, you're just doing this, and doing so many videos just to get, certain views, this and this and this and this. Guys, I have been in contact with Kayla. I promise you, that is not a lie. I support her 100%, and I love her. I love her personality, and she's awesome. I have been in contact with Kayla, and nothing whatsoever is a lie. All of this is the truth. But I love you guys, and there is much more to come.
And announce travel plans like he was on a press tour.
Bro, I love you guys. Guys, 15 seconds, let's go crazy. Drop something crazy. With the money gun! Yeah!
We were watching Be Better, the super critical, analytical thinker and Nepo baby skeptic that we made a video about before.
Very bad. To give a little bit of other insight,
staged this digital intervention disguised as a documentary.
Exclusive interview.
Except, it does not center Kayla. No. Instead of centering Kayla, we got a whistleblower drama whose biggest trauma was James Charles not replying to his DMs. Good morning, handsome! Oh! I will take you down. Like, that vendetta could have waited. Be Better actually changed his interview title from exclusive. He literally used the word exclusive. Maybe he noticed how tabloid-esque and tasteless it was in the context of things. And then he changed it again because the second title was also very sensationalist. All of it wrapped in the shiny language of accountability. As if sensationalizing these periphery topics at such a crucial time for a court case like this, the takeaway from the real victim here, is equivalent to seeking justice. Spoiler, it's not. Can we redirect the focus where it belongs? Kayla Malec, the girl who just survived a brutal, abusive relationship, and her bravery in coming out and sharing this story deserves recognition and respect. As consumers of content, we should be able to tell the difference between genuine advocacy and opportunistic exploitation, right? I mean, it's a very simple premise. Supporting survivors means listening to them, not speaking over them, not drawing attention away from their story when they need to be heard, which is kind of why I don't really care if they got permission to do that interview.
Hi, Kayla. Hey, Kayla. We just finished with our interview.
The timing of it is all off, and we'll talk about that in a minute, okay? Before we do that, though, if you can bear and stomach to hear her story, head over to her video and give it a listen and express your support, especially if you're somebody who might be going through something remotely similar to what she did. This might be the video you need, okay? It might be an eye-opener for you. But the great news and what really matters is that Kayla Malec did go to court on the 7th of May, a few days ago, and she won her case. And so this video is more about, me sharing my opinion on the pesky parasites that leached on her story. So conveniently, all right, these updates that were coming out that took the attention away from her story came at a time when Kayla was advised against speaking publicly as a precautionary measure for her case. April 8th, she said she was pressing charges. So, not waiting for her court case, not respecting that she would not be able to address anything until after court, if she needed to step in to say anything, was Zach Sellars, a man who said, you know what Kayla's story needs? Me! Front and center! A man whose dream was to be, I guess, famous.
Hey guys, I just wanted to hop on here. Part 3 is out. Hey guys, I'm just getting on here and I want to thank all of you guys for your comments and messages. I am trying to get famous.
Close. He was so close with the story. Damn it. How can I get there? Front and center. I know. Maybe name dropping the most problematic creator on this platform, James Charles. 11th April.
Hi sisters! This is just a brief little thing, me coming on here, just giving you guys the name, and there's gonna be so much more coming out along this. I'm standing for you, Kayla, and I'm here for you, Kayla, and I love you, and I love all of you guys, and thank you for supporting, and there will be a lot more coming.
April 30th, that interview dropped. The mob took these allegations to heart, picked up their pitchforks and torches, and charged James Charles. Wait, Kayla! Abuse. Not anymore. It's not about that now. We're trying to take down James. She's definitely not the main issue the indignant public was furious about. And the few times that she came online in that period, she was clearly frustrated that she was unable to address anything.
I could say right now is after court.
Fast forward, she wins the case, and James Charles speaks out. Mind you, though, just an hour before he did, Be Better predicted that he would. Of course, be better. Our all-knowing, omniscient, universal power that he is. Be better! Is faster. Be better, James.
Because if I can predict it, then I can reveal it for what it really is, which is a well-orchestrated attempt to regain public favorability, as opposed to actually a genuine recounting of what actually happened.
Oh, you must have a lot of information to be able to predict something and talk about what actually happened. When all you gave us were allegations in that interview. But we're not going to go into the details of this mess. Let's talk about it in general terms, okay? You posted a video with a lot of allegations that James Charles later on came out and said were not true.
Complete bullshit, lies, and misinformation.
He's had experience responding in a way where he articulates his side of the story with screenshots and receipts in a video called No More Lies. And he also has an experience responding in a more vulnerable way where he took accountability and apologized for his actions. I believe that video was called Holding Myself Accountable. So he's learned how to navigate this properly. No More Lies actually was fairly successful in shifting the narrative in his favor. So what he's really going to do is he's going to strategically...
Since we're in the theme of abuse and manipulation, Be Better, these predictions are abuse and manipulation, by the way. Have you ever had someone predict how you were going to behave after they came at you? Oh, let me guess. Now you're gonna do this and that, huh?
So I thought I could come on here and predict for you guys exactly what James is gonna say.
This is why court exists. It gives people a chance. Let's say there's allegations about you. And before I give you a chance to defend yourself, let me tell you what you're gonna say. Let me tell everybody what you're gonna say now. Try and prove that you're innocent. See, that's actually abusive and manipulative behavior. It undercuts your agency and it becomes self-fulfilling. Now you feel trapped in a pattern that I have framed as unchangeable. This is how you always are. And it makes you seem like you have no choice but to be predictable, even if your behavior is shaped by how I've treated you. It undercuts your agency. Be better, be better. This is like the second time This is the second time we tell you to be better. We're talking about James in a minute, by the way. Nobody's innocent in this mess. There's only one victim here, and it's Kayla. Everybody else in this mess is just... Maps made a video... By the way, this entire video has nothing to do with Kayla. He's butting heads with James Charles. Like, listen.
And the timeline is obviously going to focus on the angle of him being an empathetic friend.
He is going to angle it like he is the empathetic friend. You are speaking like a corporation, my guy. Like, you have completely dehumanized this entire situation. Well, obviously he doesn't give a shit about Kayla, the actual victim of the entire thing. And if he did... I'll tell you my opinion on that later on, at the end of the video, on how this should have been handled. Well, this is what James Charles actually said.
I do not support Evan Johnson in any way, shape, or form, and let me make that f***ing clear. I don't support him, I don't support violence against women, and I sure as hell do not support the disgusting, deplorable, violent, heinous acts that he committed against Kayla Malec behind closed doors.
I mean, what kind of a despicable person would?
Complete bullshit, lies, and misinformation.
Well, he did sue Zach Sellars.
I am suing Zach Sellars and anybody else that thinks it's funny or entertaining to get online and spread defamatory and slanderous lies, misinformation, completely bullshit, made-up stories for the sake of views, likes, engagement, and galaxies. I'm done.
Zach Sellars... Bro was shaking.
You're going to fall off of this platform. I don't care how much energy this takes and how many people have to keep doing this, but I will not give up. You're f***ing with the wrong one now, buddy, because I won't give up. You think I'm nice until you try to lie and try to cover up all of the allegations.
His response was a video of him essentially shaking in his boots, which makes me think this whole thing was an attempt at him, like, trying to get famous. And I think that's sick. Alright?
Guys, okay, some crazy stuff's happening now.
Zach Sellars, I think that is sick. However, James...
This all started at the beginning of 2025 when I reached out to Kayla about her and Evan being in a Valentine's Day video together. She told me she couldn't, she was crashing out because they had just broken up because he was crazy. I tried to lighten the mood a little bit and make a lighthearted joke asking could I have him now.
What the kind of joke is can I have him now? Imagine your best friend broke up with their boyfriend or their girlfriend, acquaintance, not friends. And you're like, can I have her now? I don't know, that would trigger me, frankly. Even without the context that we have now, what kind of a wild thing it is, diabolical. Anyway, he said, I'm so sorry. He was over at his place.
He brought him to LA.
I really to admit it, but I did have a brief friendship with Evan Johnson that started and ended well before I ever learned about any of the violence that was going on behind the scenes.
He housed him, essentially, not knowing what he was up to. That's kind of also where a lot of the heat comes from. I don't really understand why you would house your friend's ex.
So the thing about James Charles is he's going to strategically select the angle of him being an empathetic friend and simply being taken advantage of and manipulated by Evan as well.
That genuinely made me believe Evan Johnson was the victim in the situation.
Well, Zach Sellars did get the grace, the benefit of the doubt of being manipulated by the abuser.
I was there for him through the breakup because how he had me manipulated so badly.
He was friends with for months.
That we were both told the same exact lies and stories from Evan.
James was manipulated.
I feel so fucking dumb for ever believing him. We became closer, we would start FaceTiming. Eventually he told me that he wanted to come out to LA to escape and get his mind off of things for a weekend, so I invited him out. All we did was sit on the couch, order food, watch movies.
See, now this is what the fuck. I'm sorry. If my friend, acquaintance, had an extremely messy breakup with someone and this someone reaches out for advice, I don't know, I don't think I would ever invite him to your place, like to stay. There's definitely something here we're not being told that I feel like would... I swear to God, people. I swear to God. Can I have him now? And then you inviting him over to your place for the weekend? It's just a little bit... It's not looking too good. Is it really that difficult to not be in these situations? It's not like you were unfortunately wrapped into this whole mess. You invited the mess into your house. Why is it that there's always conveniently something messy going on around James Charles? Like, I'm sure there's something here amiss. Something that could have been done differently, that should have been done differently. And he said it himself. Whatever. That's not even my point. My point is, they start going into this battle back and forth. Okay, Zach Sellars is
James Charles Dickinson.
struggling to read his script.
Yes, I'm back on here, and I'm not going to give up on speaking on the absolute truth.
As he
They should have
attempts to
put it in writing. On top of that, your legal team
clap back at James Charles.
sent
James Charles contacts Zach Sellars' modeling agency.
my modeling agency received a crazy, insane email.
Yes, this guy's a model. And one of the many shocking things in this story, honestly. He gets hold of his agents that guy's like, what the fuck?
My legal team advised me what your legal team did was actually completely illegal,
Why are you talking?
and she called it something as, what is this? What are they wanting to do? Do something under the table?
Freaks Zach Sellars out to such an extent he calls it illegal.
I will be showing the email to you guys at the end of this because it's absolutely ridiculous.
How dare you try to talk to my lawyer via your lawyer, which is, by the way, very normal legal procedure. He gets hold of them.
I can't wait to receive those papers and take this to court because everything I have spoken about is the absolute truth.
That guy's, he's losing his mind.
You literally have videos of you admitting everything, which is absolutely sick. You are a sick human being. I cannot wait to take this to court.
It's a pain in the ass, honestly, listening to him say anything. And after all this mess, remember Kayla? Okay, good. Because after all this mess, we open up the only person that really matters in this entire story, Kayla. The only actually relevant person in this whole debacle. And what do we see? Oops. What happened here? Well, I don't know, and I hope they don't tell us. Because this disaster has taken so much attention away from the only story that really matters, which is her abuse case. It turned into this clout-chasing tug of war. We now have these online mobs of people that cannot think for themselves and are being tossed from one end of the court to another like a fucking tennis ball. Everybody's in the wrong here. Some people are being treated as heroes, though, while others villains since the start. We've equated the abuser to James Charles, and the heroes, forget Kayla. She's irrelevant here. The heroes are Zach Sellars and Be Better! No. Let's reframe the story a little bit. I think turning a domestic violence case into some kind of clout-chasing campaign is a little bit gross. Be Better, Kayla's story is not your resume boost. It was not your shot at internet fame, Zach, and definitely was not your chance to play pretend hero and start a petty TikTok feud disguised as advocacy to play out your vendetta against James Charles not responding to your DMs.
I'm here to take up for Kayla, and I'm here to fight for Kayla.
What, are we not allowed to hold people accountable? If they've wronged somebody, we're not allowed? How about we rethink how this was handled? How different would it have been if she was given a chance at justice with the spotlight on her?
James Charles, Zach Sellars, and Be Better.
James Charles is... But this happened with Zach.
James Charles.
Before y'all start to believe James Charles.
For her to win her case without any kind of evidence being introduced in ways that could change the outcome at court to the benefit of the abuser. So that means everybody shut up. Let this case go to court. Let her win. Have her take the time she needs to heal, because these are real events happening to this real person. This is not entertainment, sensationalized entertainment, the way it was made to seem. And then when she would be ready for her to take the lead, front and center, holding all these accountable in the periphery elements of her story. How different would that have been? I don't know, I feel like that would have been very different. I also think that alternate reality would not have involved Be Better or Zach Sellars. At least not to the extent that they had made themselves involved. James Charles? Maybe. I think she should be the one who gets to tell us if he wronged her or not. I mean, come on, guys. What a mess. Share your honest opinions down in the comments below, guys. Let's talk about this. Like, we all have maybe different views, and we all have different approaches to how this ought to have been handled. Maybe you believe that it was handled very well. The way the last 2 weeks, nobody was really talking about Kayla's abuse, and everybody was talking about how James Charles did what? Maybe you think that's a good thing. March. For f***'s sake, you guys. March. Can you be for real? It can't be, that can't be serious. Like, this has to be some kind of a sick joke. What are your thoughts? I don't know what it is about Be Better that makes me feel uneasy. I'm sure he is a good guy. You know, I'm sure his intentions are good. I would like to think so. However, I can't say the same about Zach Sellars. I don't know, something about him just makes me feel like his intentions are not good. Like, his intentions are selfish. But the way this whole thing played out made it seem like all of their intentions were selfish. That was it, guys. I'm gonna have a cup of water right now. I am parched. I'm kind of stuck here. By the way, I can't turn any of this off because I am not alone, and my cat has found a very comfortable position that I do not want to disturb. So we'll have to just...
Bye, sister!